And welcome back from America's election headquarters. It appears independent voters aren't fans of Mitt Romney or President Obama. Analysts say that neither candidate appeals to the white middle class, and that's the biggest block of independent voters. For example, President Obama only attracted 43% of the white working class vote in 2008. Meanwhile, a public policy poll shows Romney dropping just a little in South Carolina, Ron Paul surging. Analysts there, they say that is the independent voter weighing in. And Real Clear Politics shows a similar breakdown. So let's talk to our political panel. Christopher Hahn, he used to work for Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer and is a Fox News contributor. Phil Musser is president of New Frontier Strategy and was executive director of the Republican Governors Association. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks. Great to be here, Heather.
So let's start first with that public policy poll. It was released Friday. Ron Paul surging, Mitt Romney sliding just a little bit. But here's the thing, a total of 17% of the voters surveyed identified themselves as independent voters. So compare that to the number in New Hampshire. That's where a high number of independent or unaffiliated voters launched Ron Paul into a second-place finish there. So will these independent voters, 17%, make a huge difference in South Carolina? Christopher, I'll start with you.
Well, you know, listen, I think the South Carolina is a closed primary, so you're not going to see as many independents voting in that, people who identify themselves as independents voting in that primary. So I don't know that there's enough room for Paul to make up. That said, the South Carolina voter is far more conservative than the New Hampshire voter, and I don't think they trust Mitt Romney. I mean, the guy changes his position more than the Navy. So, I mean, he's been all over the map on so many things that are important to conservative voters. How can they trust him? And for that matter, it's very clear to see why independents don't trust him. This guy has absolutely no conviction at all on any of the issues he stands on.
Phil, what do you think?
I think that Chris is right. It's a closed primary, so independents cannot vote in South Carolina, unlike in New Hampshire. And so I'd make the basic point that it's tough to really gauge independent voter sentiment in a head-to-head between Barack Obama and any of the Republican candidates, because Republican candidates right now are primarily talking to Republican primary voters. So it's tough to get a full measure of that vote.